I've lived through a lot of different treatment for people with disabilities. Caring for their bodies, making sure they have a place to live and food to eat and go to the doctor and stuff. That's one thing, but we have to go beyond that now.
On a typical Monday, I really wouldn't do much of anything, just watch my favorite TV shows. There's not really much out there.
Zach wants to pretty much try everything. He picks things up real easy, like he could tell you everything that's happening and you don't need to watch the news. It's a real struggle because, autism, whatever their needs are, don't go away once they graduate and they leave school. But still, parents are left wondering what to do with their kids.
There would be some programs in disability organizations, but they're often patronizing, not meaningful.
How many times can you take the same thing over and over?
What Kudoz offers is it's a way of activating and harnessing sort of the informal capacity of community to share passions, to learn from one another, to take care of each other.
Kudoz is really introducing people to each other at its heart, and introducing people to the world that they may not have had a chance to experience because of the way they've been segregated. They're just as creative and just as imaginative and just as spirited as anyone else, so why do we have these barriers?
My number one favorite one so far, besides the Japanese experience, was a tour of BACI Theatre. It was so much fun.
I think Jordana's a leader. I felt immediately I would love to encourage her. And I think building a bridge is the most challenging part. And once it starts to happen, we can run with it. And the Kudoers can become an integrated part of our organization, I think.
From the theatre experience, I learned that could be opportunities to be an usher, guide people to their seats. I see my future pretty good. There could be job opportunities, I'm not sure. Mom is really hoping so. And we'll see what happens.
Next one, behind the stage, there's lots of stuff in it. And the next one, I watch the guy on these things, behind scenes.
What was really inspiring for me from being with Cody was that she has all kinds of creative ideas and she doesn't have an outlet for them. I remember making some suggestions that, she could make a show, bring it back here, maybe doing some video shooting or whatever medium would come.
Hi, Jessica. How are you, Jessica? Can we have seats?
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you. It's been a while.
One of the broader impacts that we hope to see is folks who have had maybe traditionally very narrow set of interests be able to talk about this many more things and therefore be able to engage with this many more people.
My favorite experience was meeting the mayor of New Westminster. I felt special when I got to declare something at the mayor's desk.
I think learning has to be something that is a lifelong process. I think of my own experiences and going back to school actually only 5 years ago. I think that's just a big part of life.
This is the online Kudoz catalog with all the different experiences.
One of the things that I'm really proud to have worked on is to not just have Kudoz experiences be, something fun and exciting, but to actually put some real thinking behind how to make them into learning experiences. We learn best by combining different sensory modalities. So one of the things that we've tried to incorporate in every Kudoz learning experience is what kinds of things Kudoers can touch or smell or hear.
Reflection Cafe happens at the Heartwood Cafe. It's where Kudoers get together and you talk about your experiences.
Kudoz provides those moments that can spark reflection, and reflection can then spark learning.
The reflective piece allows us to flesh out one's life and one's path.
A badge is like an award for going on the experiences.
Marlene is receiving the festive food badge, as well as the hair care badge, never to be mixed. Holly.
There's some cognitive disabilities and challenges that cities need to be aware of. So it's programs like the Kudoz program that I think is really going to start the ball rolling on that, just like we started the ball rolling on physical accessibility 20, 30 years ago.
Kudoz is kind of like a golden egg, right? There's something kind of fundamentally unique and different about it that sort of is kind of promising. But then it's like we want the hen that lays the golden eggs.
So the Fifth Space is a program of mentored innovation. People get to take one day out of their work week and dedicate it entirely to being on prototyping innovation teams, coming up with solutions to places where we think our services could be a lot better.
The opportunity was put forth to have staff come together and learn along the way as we developed out Kudoz. But very quickly thereafter, it became one of the primary activities.
A day in the Fifth Space would often involve learning about some new social innovation tools, things like doing ethnographies, segmenting once we'd actually done the ethnographic research, prototyping solutions.
There was more room for creativity in the Fifth Space, whereas in my everyday job, like, I am a stellar report writer. It wasn't policy driven. It's like the meaningful aspect of the work that we do, focusing on it from a user perspective seemed to really enhance that meaning.
If anybody works at a field for a certain time, people will develop different kind of insights. And it was the first opportunity where I was asked to bring my insights and frustration to actually work on those. It was, frankly, super awesome.
Change is often in that category of things that are important but not urgent. So unless we have an intentional mechanism built into our support services organization that is continually prodding at us and saying like, no, change, no, now, today, this week, we have to keep doing this.
People don't always know what's going to be the right solution for them until they're offered something different. We don't have to do things because we just do them that way. We can ask questions, we can try some new things, we can ask people what they want and actually give it to them.